Alright, in the champ select we go.
Alright, getting into the champion select here for game 3. It is all tied up, 1-1. Team Bamboozle versus the AD Cuties here in week 3 of the Phoenix League. The first ban will once again be that Kha'Zix, not wanting Doden to play the carry jungle.
I don't foresee this ban phase going any different than last game.
Honestly, I don't think that either team really does have a lot to change. I think that I would like to see potentially a Lulu ban, potentially a Caitlyn ban, but it's possible that neither team will do so. Sejuani, same ban as last. Yasuo, same ban as last game. Orianna, same ban as last game. Just not wanting these comfort picks, not wanting these high impact mid laners. There is a little bit of an adaptation though with the Caitlyn ban replacing, I think it was a Nami ban last game. Or no, that's the Nami ban is from.
No, the Nami is definitely on the side of Bamboozle. They've been trying to ban that out on Han every single game. I anticipate
They answer it with the Tristana, but this does leave up the Jarvan.
I anticipate that they're gonna try and pick up Nami here for Han. Like I said, that is a comfort pick. So
right,
Kenny once again going on to Shen.
Right, and it'll be interesting to see if that Jarvan goes into the top or the jungle, because Shen Gragas, it's been the combo from last game. It likely would have been their combo. Oh, actually, excuse me, they first picked Renekton in the first game.
They did, yeah.
But very powerful duo. It's good for making picks. It's good for team fighting. And they've kind of just let Shen live on an island. And that's honestly the way that you should be doing it, because both teams have shown that if they win the bottom lane in a meaningful way, that they just can rotate their AD carry around and force down towers and continuously build larger and larger.
And it looks like Maokai's picked up on the side of Bamboozle, so they are once again going for a super tank in the top lane.
Possibly. It could be a Maokai jungle.
Let's not get too ambitious, okay?
Varus being picked up, though, with the 2 AD carry bans. Varus is a very powerful AD carry, being, it's been seeing play at Worlds, doing the Rage Blade build, I believe. And this will be, it looks like a Karma lock-in for the AD Cuties. Actually, last second switch to Cassiopeia, a very powerful mid lane pick. Blind picking it, though, so could be potentially punished. It'll be interesting to see if Where's the Fun has any pocket counters to the Cassiopeia.
Lulu banned out. They don't want NyQuil on that again.
After his Game 1 performance, I expected the Lulu ban and see it. After his Game 2 performance, maybe you would have been comfortable leaving it up, but they decide that it's a very strong pick and answered right away by the Janna. So that bottom lane getting a lot of focus with the 2 AD carry bans and 2 support bans. Viger being taken off the table as well. Where's the Fun had a very good game on that in the first game of this series, just using the Event Horizon to zone them off of turrets and allow for the AD carry to just knock them down very quickly. And there's the Nami ban, so not picking that up in an early rotation.
I would love to see Where's the Fun on something like Galio or LeBlanc.
Galio is it's very like Galio versus a matchup that you see a lot. I think that it's typically considered to be slightly favored for the Cassiopeia, but there is actually the Ahri, which is a pick that Where's the Fun plays in a style very similar to Galio, where he uses the mobility of Ahri to get into side lanes.
Yes, Derek! Woo!
A pick that we didn't get to talk about when it was locked in, though, Twitch, which has been banned in both games previously. So at Twitch and Morgana, so seeing some different bottom lane duos this game with the Varus and the Taric on one side and Twitch Morgana on the other. Which lane do you actually... I don't know who I prefer in the early laning phase, because I think that Taric is likely a weaker laning support, is more for making plays in the late game, more for saving team fights with his ultimate. But with the dark binding and the black shield from Morgana in the laning phase, I think that shores up some of the early weakness of the Twitch.
Well, the thing with Taric is early game, his ability to CC you out is telegraphed, right? Because it's a delay on the actual stun coming out, whereas when it used to be, his dazzle was just a point and click, and it was like almost instantaneous. Now it's a box or like a rectangle in front of him, and
right.
it's
very telegraphed.
Definitely something that Morgana can easily black shield, at least in the early game. Now, once the game progresses, I feel like Taric is a far stronger pick than Morgana, especially in this meta.
The Cosmic Radiance can single-handedly completely turn the tide of a team fight.
Definitely.
Not saying that Soul Shackles doesn't have that same level of impact, but it's a lot harder to position. It's a lot harder to get off on multiple members, especially with the fact that you have a Maokai and a Jarvan that will be able to lock down a Morgana. She's not going to be walking into the back line. She's not going to be getting that ultimate off onto carries necessarily.
Right, and the build path that she's going to be forced to take here, because of the current meta, is she's going to have to go with an Ardent and a Redemption just to counter out the AoE Ardent sensor that Taric gets for free with his Q. So it's definitely going to be something where you can't exactly flash forward on Morgana and press R and Zhonya's out, because at that point you're so squishy and so vulnerable that, and you don't want to you don't want to spell shield yourself.
Zhonya's until late in, anyways.
Definitely, and you don't want to you don't ever want to black shield yourself in any aspect, because as soon as you do that, you basically open them up to CCing out either Cassiopeia or Twitch. So
now, you said that you think that the Morgana is going to be into taking the Ardent. Now, I don't really agree with that. I think that Ardent Sensor on Morgana is strong enough to be rushed. I think that it's perhaps a second or third item pickup, because it is nice to have that extra attack speed in the late game. But, the Black Shield is on a longer cooldown than many of these other shielding supports or healing supports, and I think that it's better to emphasize the pick potential of Morgana by maxing Q over maxing Shield, or maxing the Dark Binding over the Dark or Black Shield.
I feel like you make a fair point there, but in order for them to actually go on a 2v2 with the Varus and Taric, she's going to have an Ardent. Otherwise, the amount of damage that's going to be coming out from the Rage-Bladed Varus is going to overpower pretty much everything that she's able to do. And keep in mind that the Black Shield only takes away magic damage, and Varus's W, which is what he maxes second now, max E then W, his Blight is all percent magic damage. So it's going to be a lot of damage taken out from his ability to burst. So I would, in this particular matchup, I feel like it's the only option is to go for an Ardent. But, we could both be completely wrong, and we could see a Zhonya's rush.
Absolutely. Definitely a champion to watch, though, to see what build path the Morgana goes and what Han specifically thinks is the best build. Another really exciting matchup that we haven't talked about is the Ahri versus Cassiopeia. Of course, Ahri is a very aggressive laner. Where's the fun? doubling down on that by actually taking the Ignite into that mid lane. So there's a lot of solo kill potential. There's a lot of ability for Where's the Fun to perhaps outplay Cavendish. But when you get into those late game team fights, Cassiopeia is one of the highest DPS mages in the game. So it'll be interesting to see if Kenny and Doden can provide enough of a front line for Cavendish to position aggressively without getting caught.
Definitely. And the amount of pick potential on the side of AD Cuties is also huge. Because once you factor in the fact that you have the Morgana Dark Binding and you have the ability to ground somebody and take away their ability to flash out with the Cassiopeia W, it creates a really big problem for them if they get vision control. AD Cuties is going to have a really easy time looking for picks.
Right, and they've demonstrated that they actually can use that gen in combination to get good picks. Starting out here, though, Kenny pathing very interestingly through the river there, but Where's the Fun in Illegal Jesus deciding not to engage on him.
Looks like they're both looking for bot lane starts once again. Me personally, as the jungler in this case, I would be looking to pressure the mid lane, just because of the simple fact.
Dark Binding landing on to calm down, taking King Goldchain hitting him with the expunge on the tail end of that as well. If you look at the bottom lane itemization, you'll see that both lanes have a Relic Shield, but Team Bamboozle, they aren't aware of the new meta. They actually picked up Relic Shield on their support instead of their AD carry.
I think that's just something where they want to add a little bit of survivability to the Taric. And when Taric picks up a Face of the Mountain eventually, it just adds a whole nother something that he can peel with. Taric's main thing is providing survivability for people. And when he gets the bravado-empowered auto attacks and is able to spam
the stun going to land on King Goldchain, though, but is answered by a Dark Binding, so fairly even damage trade.
Definitely. Now keep in mind that Calm Down has a Doran's shield here, so once he gets damaged, he's going to actually have regen. NyQuil playing super aggro.
Goldchain, but no summoners used King Goldchain confident in holding on to.
And that's really NyQuil's only option here, is to be aggro in the first couple of levels, because once that Black Shield is taken, he's going to have a way harder time looking for stuns. They're on about the same cooldown as well, so...
Hipster Dragon invading toward Doden's red buff, but ends up actually deciding not to contest the buff, despite Doden being incredibly low.
Doden was super low. I don't know what path he took. He might have... Oh, he did Raptors. That's why.
Yeah, blue into Raptors into red. It does actually leave you pretty low, but it looks like he's got enough of sustain that he will go ahead and pick up the Krugs before backing.
Black Shield burned on the attempted Taric initiation there.
And I'm not exactly sure what the cooldown of each ability is.
They're roughly the same at level 1. Black Shield probably...
but the Dark Binding landing on Taric, but not really close enough for King Goldchain to follow up.
I think Black Shield is 2 seconds longer, depending on what kind of runes Taric took.
So not really a big enough window to be avoided. Cavendish trading damage onto Where's the Fun, though. Kind of. Not really a lot of damage.
A little damage?
A little damage.
I want these.
a very quiet early lane here. Of course, King Goldchain did choose that Relic Shield start, so expecting to fall behind a little bit in the early laning phase. Just a couple of CS, nothing major. And with the way that this top lane is building up a wave pushing towards Kenny, he actually will probably pull ahead in CS after that lands against his tower.
And the whole point of that Relic Shield start is to rush an Ardent Sensor. So it looks like that is the path that Han Han is going to go here.
Absolutely. I think that doing anything else with that Relic Shield would be a very interesting choice. Well, the Dark Bindings seem to be landing over and over again, but not amounting to much yet. Some trades happening here in the mid lane as a Hipster Dragon comes in.
Oh,
Charm
wow.
lands on the Cavendish. Flag and drag as well, but there's the flash. Kill trade. The jungle 4 mid there in the mid lane with Doden showing up just in time. But actually, both summoners being used by Cavendish in exchange for just the Ignite from Where's the Fun. So it will be a lane to revisit, as lots of damage being done to a Maokai, not something you say very often.
And that's a Shen with no items yet. So he hasn't picked up his early Tiamat quite yet. So once he does come back, it's going to be a lot of damage coming from his side.
Right. We saw last game that Kenny was able to out-trade the Ornn at every stage of the game, so it's possible that we'll see a similar build and a similar outcome in this game.
For sure. Maokai and Ornn, very similar damage outputs, so...
Right. The Charm landing onto Cavendish, though, but lots of damage. The ultimate will be landing
Petrifying
for just
Gaze?
slow. Petrifying Gaze, yes. Thank you.
That was a...
I really need to brush up on my ability names.
I gotta do the same, don't worry. As long as we know what button they press to do it, right?
Right. Gragas coming in here, though. Body Slam does force the flash from Where's the Fun. Han Han walking up very aggressively will land Dark Binding to get out. Now, we haven't really talked about it yet, but the outplay potential with the Taric stun versus the Morgana is actually to be in a position where both stuns are going to land. Because then Morgana has to choose, oh, Cataclysm going on to Cassiopeia here will pick up a quick kill for Where's the Fun.
Great play by Hipster Dragon there.
Well, the Chains of Corruption being whiffed in the bottom lane, that is a lot of pressure that they're not going to have.
And he was looking to hit that while the Black Shield wasn't available for Han Han. So it was a little forced on the side of AD Cuties, but not all a bad play.
The Dark Binding going on, but once again, King Goldchain not really in a position to trade back much damage to follow up there. Constant trading going on here. Of course, as Taric is autoing constantly, the shield, the heal will be refreshing.
Spray and pray.
Oh, actually a flash forward answered by the heal from Calm Down. Aggressive play from King Goldchain will end up dying for it.
Perhaps he thought that Contaminate would have ended up killing him, but the exhaust timing was just so good by NyQuil that he wasn't able to get the full damage of the
Right.
stacked Contaminate.
He's actually going to end up losing a lot of CS for that as well, because the lane double stacked against him.
Yeah.
You know, in the last two games, we've seen that the plays were really coming out of the bottom. They were getting an early lead. You know, one team or the other was getting an early lead on the bottom lane, and using that lead to rotate around the map and get more and more objectives. This game, we've seen a lot more mid-focus, and Where's the Fun has built up a couple of kills, if even though the CS lead isn't showing up yet. And so it's possible that this game might be played in a style that's not quite the same as the last two.
The Varus is up 24 CS on the Twitch right now. And he also has a kill up on him. That is a lot of gold that he now has the advantage
The Varus
on.
isn't necessarily the of 83 where Caitlyn is. So it'll be interesting to see if they use him in the same way to just constantly be pressuring turrets, or if they, use him more for the utility that he can provide with the Chains of Corruption.
Body slam
onto Where's the Fun, answered by the Charm. I don't think Doden has the tank stats to really be going head to head with Ari. Oh, but poor Twitch all alone is going to be stunned up, and then the Cataclysm comes down to finish that kill, and actually ends up being both bottom laners for the AD Cuties going down to a 3-man dive.
Really well played by NyQuil. Just to land the E onto the Twitch, and then also Peel calmed down while he grabbed aggro was really well done by him.
Well, it was a good play by NyQuil. I think really it was more about the misplay from King Goldchain. Don't really need to talk about the trades in the top lane. There's not kill pressure in a tank v tank matchup. Dragon will be going down here as well.
Maokai's really going for this.
Actually, yeah, putting out the ultimate does go ahead and flash forward there as well. I guess it's the caster curse. I say no kill pressure.
Illegal Jesus picking up the kill onto Kenny. God, man, stop auto AFKing me, channel.
The best objective-focused Dragon. It's possible that the team Bamboozle will be looking to pick up another early lead by focusing these objectives.
King Goldchain is just looking to farm his way back into this game. On Twitch, no matter what happens, Twitch is going to be relevant just because of his ability to AoE and stack his Contaminate onto everybody. Varus, on the other hand, picking up his first item, so he has a substantial gold lead on King Goldchains right now, which is pretty
that
rough.
Completed Blade of the Ruin King is a substantial power spike. I actually would consider that to be a stronger initial power spike than the Rage Blade, but of course many people choose to go for the Rage Blade first over the Blade of the Ruin King because it gives you a stronger power curve.
Right, but I feel like this Blade of the Ruin King is going to be followed by the Rage Blade. So I don't think he's electing to take the Rage Blade out of the build, but more just electing to look for sustain as opposed to
Charm
power.
goes wide there in the mid lane. Doden looking to make a play here on the top side onto the perhaps overexpended. Misses the body slam though, chooses not to flash, does throw out the cask to bring Calm Down into the fight, but lots of damage being traded down.
NyQuil is a god.
The Dark Chains are not going to be doing much. Jarvan going in very aggressively, diving this turret here. Lands another stun. And there's the Cataclysm to pick up another kill. Will he be going down to the Contaminate? Looks like he will not. And with that play, they have actually just blown this game wide open. Actually, Where's the Fun? Outplaying the Petrifying Gaze with his ultimate, and likely going to pick up a solo kill here. Shen ultimate coming in to save him. The dash does miss, but I think that he'll be going down. But NyQuil showing up and Hipster Dragon picking up the kill on the back side, so that will be a 2-for-1 trade. Well, the Dark Binding actually stopping Kenny from going down, so 1-for-1 trade with perhaps an over-aggressive mindset from Where's the Fun.
Well, I don't think Where's the Fun knew that Cavendish had his barrier available. So that was maybe just a miscalculation by him.
Right, and the Ignite actually just now coming off cooldown Fun, so did not have as much kill pressure as he will at this point.
I still think it was a good play to go for that cheese, though. Though it ended up in a 1-for-1.
I agree, but it did draw members out of the point that could have potentially been applying more pressure to that tower.
Definitely. Looking for Rift
Looks
Herald.
like they will be picking up a Rift Herald here, but there are a lot of members from both teams hovering around this area, so you might see it contested. Tarek Stun does not land. Doden looking to go in here and stop the Rift Herald from going down, but will he be able to get the steal? No, he smites it a little early.
Cassiopeia's Banshees is unavailable now. She got hit by the Maokai ulti.
Kenny actually pushing out the bottom lane, looking to pick up an objective change for that Rift Herald, but Team Bamboozle might just go ahead and drop it here in the mid lane. Looks like they don't even need to, picking up the mid outer without the help of that Herald.
Did we see who picked
Twitch
it up?
walking in stealth. There's the body slam.
Oh, where's the fun?
The Cosmic Radiance comes out to save Team.
Wow, that was so much
but,
CC onto calm down right there.
Just locked down so long, actually gets the Cosmic Radiance and then dies afterwards. Team AD Cuties looking to make something happen. There's the Cataclysm getting Ember.
That was
the fun
really
using the ultimate, dashing around this fight, doing tons of damage.
Wow.
And it looks like they will be. Will the Ignite take him? Yes, the Ignite takes down Kenny at the end of that fight. Tower shots for free for Where's the Fun, dropping very low, but does not go down. And with that 4-for-1 trade in the extended siege, they pick up another turret, drop the Rift Herald onto the base, but with everybody respawning from Team AD Cuties, they will not be able to pick up the inhibitor.
I think they were just looking for the inhib tower there.
Definitely, it is I think a good use of the. Oh, but the charm goes on to King Goldchain, forces out the Shen ultimate. They are looking to make a fight happen here, but with another Kenny and Poke coming in from the Varus, I think that they need to back off.
And Infernal is up right now, so their jungler in top lane just went back, and I don't know if AD Cuties is aware of this, so we'll see if they actually go for the dragon here or not.
Well, but Shen is in the top lane and does not have his ult, though the teleport. And there's the teleport from Illegal Jesus to get right back onto the map and contest this Infernal. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do much to stop this from going down in favor of Team Bamboozle. 5 towers to 0, up 2 dragons and 11 kills. At this point, they're sitting at almost an 8,000 gold lead, just very far ahead. 20 minutes, almost 20 minutes into the game. Just they won all of their lanes, and they used that pressure specifically from the bottom duo to pressure objectives and to make big plays with the Cataclysm.
Charm hits on the Morg.
Wow, that was a lot of damage. And yeah, just picking up 2 more kills in a 4v2 dive in the bottom lane. I didn't even have time to say anything about that.
Very, very, very high damage coming out from Where's the Fun with the Gunblade and Morello's completed.
But with the Cassiopeia and the Twitch on the side of the AD Cuties, they do have a chance to get to the ultra late game and out team fight the team Bamboozle, but when you're sitting at this, the Flash Petrifying Gaze does actually stun up too. The Cosmic Radiance coming down to prevent a lot of damage. Maokai Ultimate will disengage the fight, but they're actually just going for a dive. Var is constantly autoing here. Does take a couple of tower shots. There's a Flash Charm from Where's the Fun catching King Goldchain. Will calm down, will pick up another kill. And here it looks like they will be picking up a second base turret as well as an inhibitor. Yeah, in the 2v5, I don't think that the 2 tanks really have any ability to push them off. Dark Binding going on to calm down, but there's just not any follow-up.
And there's not a lot that they can do at this point. Bamboozle is just dictating both the tempo and the way that this game is going. It's just they're in complete control.
Cavendish started that fight off with a Flash Petrifying Gaze that stunned up the front line of Team Bamboozle. And Team Bamboozle just immediately turned it around on them. They used the Maokai ultimate to lock them down under the tower, and they went full ham, diving under that base turret and just demolishing the AD Cuties in a team fight.
Yeah, and, at this point of the game, when you have a Rage Blade completed and a Blade of the Ruin King completed on Varus, and only a Runan's completed onto Twitch, that is a huge damage discrepancy from the 2 hyper carries that you can't really do anything about at this point of the game.
Yeah, there's not really a lot to do to make that Twitch get his items faster. I mean, you can try to funnel the CS onto him, but it's really going to pale in comparison to the high number of kills that the Team Bamboozle has been able to pick up.
They're going to go for Baron
and
here.
There's just... I agree, and I don't think that there's anything to do about it.
They're just looking to close this game out as soon as possible because, like you said, if this does get into the hyper late game, then AD Cuties has a shot, and they want to eliminate any chance that AD Cuties may have
with
of
a
winning
nearly
this game.
12,000 gold lead, 23 minutes in. I think that it would be very difficult for Team Bamboozle to throw this game. You're not supposed to choose sides as a caster, but I just think that looking at it realistically, that the game is largely decided at this point.
They're just looking to close this game out as soon as possible.
Yeah, the chains of corruption going in, just barely saving down. Cataclysm, well, just lots of damage. Calm Down will go down on the tail end of that fight, but
Gold Chain.
Meanwhile, it looks like every member of Team AD Cuties will die. There's a flash from Maokai just to pick up the last kill onto Twitch, who runs away into his base. Does survive, but he will not. Well, there's the Flash and Drag almost picking up the kill. I don't think that he's gonna. They're diving the base.
You stand corrected, huh?
Yeah. GG, Team Bamboozle picking up the second game in this the second win in this best of 3 series, and both games very explosive. Early leads were turned into larger and larger leads, and both teams just demonstrating that they know how to play with an advantage and that they can, push to win.
And that was just a game that snowballed so fast out of control that there was really nothing that could be done on the side of AD Cuties. They lost a lot of pressure in the jungle early game because Jarvan was just everywhere, and that Morgana pick ended up being detrimental to them.
Now, it's easy to criticize Doden, but of course he is a emergency sub, not used to playing with this roster, and the AD Cuties aren't used to playing with him. So it's possible that the shortcomings in the early game jungle there were just because of a lack of familiarity. I think that honestly, all 3 games were very explosive. All 3 games were almost win lane, win game, because they just took whoever won the bottom lane, they just took their AD carry, they took them around the map, and they got towers. And there wasn't very much that either team did to stop that from happening.
I'm gonna look and see if we can get an interview from either side here, just to see what was going on there. Alright, Nyquil wants to... he has all the powers.
I'm already here.
Yeah. Alright, Roses, do you have any questions you want to ask, or you want me to just fire away?
Well, in game 1, we saw the Thunderlord's Lulu, the Spell Thief's Edge start, and it was a very impressive showing in the bottom lane. Game 2, though, you chose to play it more defensively. Why was that?
Well, in the first game, I knew that we had like a winning matchup, and I was able to take Spell Thieves and Thunderlords and really punish the Sona early. In the second game, though, nobody beats Caitlyn, so there was if I had played Thunderlords and gone Spell Thieves and tried to push up to auto attack and get the Spell Thieves gold, I would have just been poked out and died. So I went defensive summoners and masteries and took coin instead.
Right. Kalia and I both noticed that these games were largely... Do you have anything that you'd like to say about that?
You cut out. I totally missed that.
Yeah, you did cut out.
I just think that the bottom lane matchup was perhaps the most influential in each game. Do you have anything that you'd like to say about playing specifically versus the AD Cuties bottom lane?
Well, definitely because Ardent Sensor hasn't been nerfed to the ground yet, it is very carry focused in the bot lane, so it's important that bot lane does get ahead. And we know that KGC is a heavy backbone for AD Cuties, so we know that if KGC gets shut down, then it's easier for us to win the game. So we just really wanted to make sure that we drafted winning lanes, and in the second game, we messed up pretty bad with drafting Lulu early. If I can't counter pick the bot lane, then it's pretty difficult for us to really snowball that lane. So yeah, our goal was just to look to shut down KGC early.
Definitely. Well, it seemed to be pretty effective in game 1, game 3 for sure.
For sure.
I think we lost Roses.
Really?
I'm here. I just don't have anything to add to that.
It's an interesting meta. Hopefully it'll be swapped up, though, come preseason.
Yeah, I'm
Who
sure
are
it
your
will.
opponents next week, and how do you feel coming off this win?
Next week, I think our opponents are... is it Vertebrae? No. Yeah, it is Vertebrae. So, we play Vertebrae a lot. We're familiar with them. So we're looking forward to that match. It's a lot of fun. AD Cuties was going to be our hardest matchup. They're the only team in this league that we haven't beaten. So it'll be interesting to see. I feel like Vertebrae and us are pretty evenly matched, and now that they do have their main mid laner back, it'll be interesting to see how that game's go. It'll probably be a pretty close match like this one as well.
Well, I look forward to seeing those matches, and I hope that we'll have everybody from today's stream tuning back in again to track the quest of Team Bamboozle on their drive to the playoffs.
Yeah. I think there's also another game this evening with Dream Team and Courage Esports at 7 EST. So you guys be sure to tune in for that as well.
For sure. We appreciate your time, and GG's.
Thanks, man. GG.